Hey guys, my name is JessiMew, and welcome back to the Hard Mode Challenge. In the last episode, the bearyenas finally made their grand return. They were biding their time for quite a while, though I feel like that was only an attempt to get us to drop our guard, maybe leave some of our weaker or younger creatures unattended, so they could swoop in and try to pick them off one by one. I'm sure it was actually what Jip just caught with his big sister that lured the bearyena closer, but now he has an even bigger meal to fill his belly. So Jip, he's a little bit stubborn. I feel like he wouldn't want to leave the bearyena without a few good scratches on him. I mean, he can pack quite a punch with his antlers. Not as much as some of our creatures with the bearyena genetics, but he has to at least land one good hit before he runs. That's really just for his own ego, of course, to try to shoo the bearyena away from that food that he caught for his family. But then he'll scoot all the way back up to the nest because he knows that his mother Biba is going to be looking for him soon. She can gather up all of her berries, scoot back to the nursery, make sure that he's okay, and then smother him with all of that delicious food, just to be sure. Toomey, in the meantime, can go ahead and gather up the actual meat. That way we won't lose that to the bearyena, or to this massive horde of bluebirds in our skies. I have never seen so many bluebirds on a single island before. It's very, very worrying. We're going to have to make sure that none of our babies are left unattended, because I have a feeling they would get scooped up right away. Let's see who we can bring down to take care of the bearyena though, because unfortunately I don't think Toomey or Kate are going to be ready for the job. We could actually bring Barker down to maybe land a couple of good hits too. If he can get down there in time. Yeah, looks like he can get all the way down to where the bearyena is hiding. So he actually just watched his own brother Grindilo perform a very valiant sacrifice for his family. He sacrificed the rest of his lifespan to make sure the bearyenas wouldn't get to his babies, so I feel like it's only fitting that Barker would do the same. They were both so close after all. This is probably a good way for him to remember him by. But we will want to bring Darkrai down to finish the job again as soon as we pass the day. So I guess we'll set him up right here. Again, because of those bearyena genetics, he's a little bit slower than our other creatures. So we need him to be very close to whatever potential danger is in our way. That's also why we're going to try to start a family with him on this episode. Hopefully with little Glacier, because she's very strong too. Then we'll have plenty of guards, plenty of little sentinels set up for all of our collectors, and they should be able to pick their poison berries in peace, so we can unlock the toxic body a bit faster. I guess Toomey could actually help you out too, Kate. We might as well just try to give all of our collectors the toxic body. That would at least give them a little bit more defense. Creatures wouldn't want to munch on them after all if they know that it's just going to poison them in the end. So they'll be like the toxic heart of our healer's glade, if all goes well. We'll want you, Comey, to keep picking the poison berries too. Now we have 3 creatures picking poison berries, and unfortunately only 2 medicines for them to take. So we'll have to keep a close eye on their lifespans to make sure that nobody passes away before they're meant to. Now, Sagittaria, do we want to bring you over to the bearyena as well? She actually just lost her own bearyena mate, so I'm not sure what she would do in this situation. Would she actually attack someone who reminds her so much of the mate that she lost? Or would she maybe just stay over here and pick her berries? I guess for now we'll have her collect the food, and maybe try to figure out which bluebird just stole some food from us. Yeah, they're all still circling over this part of the island, so I'm starting to think that our explorers should really head back in that direction. They do have other things to contend with today, like the killer bearyena, though it's kind of unfortunate that our creatures are so sneaky, because we can't really get the killer bearyena to give chase. Let's see if we can maybe hear him off in the distance. I'm not sure if he's still in the ocean, Or if he maybe went back to solid land. There he is. Oh my gosh, sniffing around our tree actually. He probably smells our creatures, but he's just not sure where they ran off to. So Athena, try to lure him closer this time. We'll set her up right here, so hopefully it'll smell her in the distance. Draw a little bit closer. Yeah, that is super, super close. I wonder if that's going to be a mistake. Our one saving grace is that we do actually have a healing fruit to use now. So if we clear out the area around it, hopefully that'll make it easier for us to get to it in the future. We want to be able to find this thing from all angles. Oh, I wonder if the killer bearyena is actually going after these bunnies too. I mean, I wouldn't complain if he wants to just catch us food instead. But we can't have him hanging around once we're ready to start a family. It might be best for Liana to make her way out of the nest, though of course she can't leave little Glacier behind, so she's going to have to watch all of the action from the safety of the nursery, and I'm sure she's very, very sad to see her mate going out to war, but she knows that he's making a valiant sacrifice too. Harry, in the meantime, is just looking for fish in the water. I'm not sure that he even really realizes what's going on back home, but it looks like there aren't any areas for fish to spawn in the northern part of the stream, so that means he's going to want to follow the water downstream to where Little Webbs has been scooping up his very lazy fish. Oh, I think he finally took care of them all. Alright, so we'll just have him pick up that algae, and then maybe it's time for you to scoot into the water and see if you can find any bigger fish swimming in these tide pools. Bambi is all grown up, and look how imposing he looks. You're going to have to give up that nest to Amelia, though. Unfortunately, this is not just a soft place to rest your head. This is exactly where we're hoping that we're going to see our very first full hybrids. Our first bearyena snouts born on our babies. We just have to make sure that we're securing the borders, and I'm sure little Peppy could help us out. We'll leave Sonia over here just to keep the baby protected from this side, but Peppy is pretty good at sniffing into the tall grass. Oh my gosh, look at all those resources out there. More poison berries for somebody to pick from, but what she's really after is another one of the healing fruits. Oh, look at that, she actually managed to find a stump. That's pretty good too. It kind of seems like the bunnies were using that to their advantage instead, so hopefully they won't mind sharing with you. But we're all out of turns now, so I think we should probably zoom in on Barker and watch as he makes his final sacrifice too. Protecting his babies? Oh my goodness, but somebody really had a bad day. It must have been you, Athena. Oh my gosh, this time she is actually bleeding. So she must have taken one too many hits from the killer bearyena, and that means she's going to have to rush to that healing fruit. I guess the bunnies weren't quite enough to entice the killer bearyena to leave us alone. But let's have her land one good swipe, then scoot over to the healing fruit. She's going to be way too close to the bearyena. Let's actually bring her up here, because that would set her up inside the tall grass, so hopefully that'll be enough to just get the bearyena to leave us alone on this turn. It's very tricky dancing with killer bearyenas. It's hard to tell when you should stay within their sight, and when you should hide away until you can ambush them later. But this is definitely a moment where we want to let our creatures regain their footing, so we'll hide each and every one of them in the tall grass, and we'll cross our fingers that that's enough to give Athena a moment to heal her wounds. And now we can go back to you, Darkrai. Though I don't think you had quite as bad of a day as Athena did. It looks like you didn't take any damage at all. So let's have you finish off the bearyena if you could with one simple swipe. That's all it takes for one of our strongest warriors in the land. That must be quite intriguing for somebody like Jip, who just wants so badly to be strong like he is. So we'll bring him back out into the outskirts to scout around for more potential food, of course. Or at least that's what he would be telling to his mother. I'm sure Biba is just worried sick. She would probably enjoy it more if he would just stay by her side. But now thanks to all of her fretting, she's lost her berries too. So she's going to have to let him go, do his searching on his own because she knows how important their food sources are. But somebody could probably get this bunny for us. Oh, there you go, Harry. You don't have to rely just on all the fish in the water. You can help us by picking off the bunnies too. Now, Kate, it seems, is just about in need of a healing fruit to keep her lifespan full. So we'll have her pick one more of the poison berries and then scoot on over here to use our last medicine. Because we've staggered these, this one should be growing back pretty soon. I would like to make sure that we always have at least one healing fruit at our disposal. That way, if we run into any really bad situations, like what Athena is currently going through, we know we'll be able to bring them back to life. Now, Liana, as sad as she is after watching her mate pass away, knows that she needs to teach her new little baby well. Maybe that would actually give her a new sense of resolve. She knows that her baby is going to become one of the great protectors of the land, and she also knows that her future line is going to be very important too. So she would want to teach her everything that she knows. Maybe teach her how to repair the nests if possible, because we know we're going to need to use these in the future. And I see that little bunny hopping around back here, Biba. I wonder if she's trying to make friends with these guys. She's not going to be very good at hunting them down because she is so weak, so she would have to learn to put up with their company instead. Now, this might be one of our last chances to breed with the friendly bearyena. Yeah, literally our last chance. So what are the odds that Zara is actually going to be able to have one last baby with the bearyena? We've had so much trouble with this in the past. No, Zara. Oh, that is so sad. So no more friendly bearyena babies, at least for now. But we do know that we still have plenty of future in our bearyena hybrids, thanks to Amelia and Bambi. Actually, we'll want to set up their mutation menus soon. It looks like Bambi has the blindness and his inactive traits, and Amelia has the short-sighted eyes as well. We definitely don't want that sneaking into our hybrid line. So let's go ahead and place the normal eyes into both of their first slots. Then I guess the other thing we could do, at least for Bambi's side of the family, is place the higher fertility into his second slot. He has one little point in fertility on both of his slots right now, so if we manage to mutate this gene, then we know it'll be an improvement. There is a possibility that Amelia could pass her low fertility too, but she also has the high fertility in the first slot, so fingers crossed she can pass that instead. Now I guess we could go ahead and move the nest up closer to the main nursery, because we want our creatures to settle down here anyway. So as soon as we pick up all of this pesky grass, so nothing nasty can spawn in the meantime, we'll have Amelia join Bambi and hopefully scout around for some more roots to dig up. Oh my gosh, there are plenty of roots out here. Okay, Amelia, you are going to have your work cut out for you. Hopefully you'll be able to have a baby with the digging paw too, because we don't want to lose that as a potential source of food. Now, unfortunately, because there is so much grass here, Peppy is not actually going to be able to see too much, even though she's on top of that stump. And it seems like she still isn't smelling anything too interesting out in this direction either. But we will have her start clearing out the pathway, so somebody else can use it in the future. And now it's just down to you, Webs, as you hop around looking for some more little fish to scoop up, and hopefully no leeches. We don't want to leave him by the ocean for too long, especially unattended, but maybe if he makes his way down the shore, he'll be able to find a little place to set up a family of his own. I'm sure we could find somebody who could possibly breed with Webs. Well, unfortunately right now, some of his only options are Liana and Biba, and Comey too. But I did notice that Piper also has different immunity genes to Webs, but that is a very, very long way for one little frog-toed creature to hop. I'm not sure if he would have it in him. He still has plenty of time left on his lifespan, but Piper unfortunately is getting closer to the end of hers. So he would have to make it all the way over to her side in 7 days if he wants to create a strong warrior line with her. Though I mean, the bearyena claw would be invaluable for that part of the tribe, and we don't want our little explorers to pass away entirely, especially with their current situation. So let's see if the killer bearyena is going to find you guys in the grass. Nope, I think you managed to do it. I think the bearyena may have gone after the bunnies instead, but I hear all of our poor poisoned creatures getting damaged overnight. I keep thinking that something is attacking them, but it's just because they're taking a little bit of extra damage thanks to all of that poison. But that gives you 8 days remaining on your lifespan, Athena, so you have plenty of time to keep us safe. Yeah, that's another thing that Webbs would have to contend with if he did try to go all the way over to Piper, because the killer bearyena is still lurking around here, so we would have to be super, super careful. Maybe we could actually make a new pathway through the grass? I wonder if you guys could manage that. We could bring our Lilo down this way and see if we can carve a new route for our creatures to take. Honestly, I think the moral of this story is that we need more escape routes. And we also need to keep some bunches of grass by the healing fruits, just so our creatures can hide. Oh my gosh! Is there actually another healing fruit up here? Oh, that is perfect. Yes, we definitely have to make a pathway over here too. The Healer's Glade would absolutely love to see this. And I'm sure they're going to want to keep track of every last fruit on the island. So I guess for now, we'll just leave little Athena right here, so she's still hidden and she can swoop in if she needs to. And then Comey, with what might actually be the last of your energy, maybe you can help Harry start carving that pathway toward our explorers. So we'll bring them over here by the bunny burrow, or maybe not. It looks like we're trapped in by the poison berries. How fitting that you sniffed those out. And how fitting, too, that Biba has unfortunately lost the rest of her normal berries to those pesky bunnies that she knows so well. Yeah, it looks like they're actually hopping around these permanent nests. So maybe it's time for you to help us out, too? I know she's very timid, so this has to be very, very scary for her to do. But we could really use an extra paw, and maybe you can find another berry bush to pick from that nobody else has seen. Comey's last turn of energy, of course, is going to go straight for the poison berries. I wonder how close we are to unlocking that gene now. We have to be super, super close. Let's see, the toxic body. Oh, we only need like 4 more actions, and then we can get to work starting our toxic body line. So Toomey, go ahead and pick some more of the berries for us. And then Kate can come over here and do the same. And who picked up that leech? It has to be somebody over here, right? Let's see. Oh, little Sagittaria. Oh, you're so lucky that Jip has come over here looking for food of his own. And it seems like the bunnies have actually taken over your nest. Oh, you're not going to stand for that. The bunnies and the Dodemingos and the moles. Oh my gosh. You have a lot of work to catch up on. She did take quite a bit of time off mourning the loss of her mate, but I think she's ready to get back to work now. Let's have Glacier try her hand at repairing one of the nests. That way she can use that in her future. And now that she has her second gem, that means that her mother can move a bit further away. Oh my gosh, who picked that up now? Oh, Webbs. Oh my goodness. We're going to have somebody follow you, I think. Maybe Zara could be the one for now. We'll bring her over here. What? Oh my gosh. We have a healing fruit over here too? We have so many healing fruits to use. I mean, I'm not complaining. We definitely need them with how many beryenas we have on our trail. But how did you not notice this thing, Webbs? You were literally standing right next to it with your big nose. Oh my gosh, well, you're going to have to clear out this area, okay? I know you're trying to find a mate to start a family with, but the healing fruit is a little bit more important. That's going to be great for you guys, especially with how much grass you still need to clear out. I know it's very likely that you're going to run straight into a bearyena too. And Bambi, I think I noticed a little bunny scooting around your land. There we go. Oh my gosh. No way, Bambi. You were just going after the bunny and you found our next healing fruit too. How many do we have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 back here, plus the extra one that our Lilo just found. So 6 healing fruits on the island. Well, I guess we were right calling them the healers of the Deadly Hills, because that is what they're going to be focusing on. So Rocket, why don't you come over here for now, just to crack open the acorns for us? And then maybe Sonia could lend Peppy a hand. Oh, not again with the leeches. Okay, this time it was you, Bambi. So we're actually going to have Sonia help you out with that on the next turn, because unfortunately Zara can't repay the favor. So pick up that meat, Liana. Go ahead and clear out some of the grass. And then we just need to find some more poison berries for our sisters over here, or cousins rather, to pick from. There's probably more in the grass, right? Yeah, we have one right over here next to Toomey, and a little bunny too, trying to sneak a few poison berries of their own, it seems. So we'll bring Kate down to Toomey's side, and I think on the next day, we're going to be able to unlock the toxic body for our tribe to use. I kind of want Darkrai to stay over here, because I'm not sure where the danger is going to pop up again, and I feel like he would be watching after Jip anyway, keeping a very close eye on that wiry little guy to make sure he doesn't get into any more danger. That leaves poor little Glacier kind of on her own for now, but we know that she's strong and she should be able to protect herself, even if something does spawn next to her. But that's all of our turns used up. So I guess we'll see if anything is going to happen to our explorers first, just to make sure. Since this is where most of our danger is right now, we want to make sure the killer bearyena isn't going to surprise them again. But yeah, I think they have successfully kind of lured it away, left it off in the tall grass. Oh no. Do not tell me this is another killer bearyena. Okay, it's just a normal one. It looked like a giant from that angle, and we all know how big those killer bearyenas are. But one bearyena we can definitely handle. In fact, I think Bambi should be able to take care of it entirely. We'll just have Sonia go ahead and pick that leech off of him, lick his wounds too, so he's ready for war. I think what we'll want to do is see if we can lead the bearyena closer to the main camp. That way we don't have to sacrifice a day of breeding, because Amelia is all grown up now, which means that she should be able to settle down in that nest. So let's bring her around this way. We'll see if they can breed successfully on the first try. There we go. And now we just have to cross our fingers that we'll get lucky with that lovely bearyena snout. Now Peppy, your job is going to be to lead this bearyena back to Bambi. We need Bambi to take care of the danger, and hopefully even impress our goddess of war by protecting his new baby. Our healers in the meantime are living in Bunny Central now. I think Kate should be able to swipe this one up. I do want her to use her turns on the poison berries, just to unlock the new gene. Yes, that should be the toxic body, right? There it is. Alright, Kate, so I think we're going to plop that into her mutation menu. There's not too much else that we need to worry about, just the short-sighted eyes that we don't want to see on her babies. So let's place the toxic body into the first slot, and then the normal eyesight into the second. And then we just have to find her a male without K or F in their genes. Unfortunately, Darkrai is not the one. We could actually bring Rocket over to the collectors, and that might be good anyway because he does have the cracker jaw, so he could help them potentially pick up more acorns in their future too. Not that they have any trees to work with over here, but it might be time that we take another trip back to our little Crackerjaw Island to see if all of those acorns have grown back. He could even breed with Toomey too, because she has the same immunity genes as her sister, so she would also give them healthy babies. So we'll make sure that we do the same for her mutation menu, placing that toxic body into the first slot, and then I guess the nimble fingers into the second one. because she only has the running leg, and we want our toxic body creatures to be able to pick up tons and tons of berries. Now, Biba, as you leave that bunny behind you, you should be happy to know that we shouldn't have to worry about the killer bearyena. Most likely, he's made his way back down the shore, and he's sniffing around that tree again, trying to pick up the scent of our creatures once more. So we'll have you guys keep carving that steady pathway deeper and deeper into the grass, straight into another one of those stumps too. So you can use that to keep an eye out for your tribe. Athena's doing fine now too, so let's have her listen around with her nice big ears, just to see if she can maybe hear the killer bearyena. There we go. So I think she'll be fine because she is still in the tall grass, but at least we know where he's lurking. Yeah, he must just be trying to pick up our scent again. We spent so much time by this tree that I'm sure there is plenty signs of life in that area. So our Lilo and Piper, it might be best for you guys to at least pick up the grass by that healing fruit. That way we don't have to worry that we'll lose it. Let's have Zara finish clearing out this area with what little life she has left. That way she knows that all of her babies will be able to use this in the future. Then maybe we could even call Jip over here to stay in the area. Since he is such a spirited individual, I'm sure he's going to need some healing fruits in his time. So we'll have him take over this part of the glade once Zara passes. Sagittaria has now successfully defended all of her nests. And just in time too, because our little savior is about to pass away. So go ahead and dig up some of the last of your roots, and we'll have you sit by the stream, by this little waterfall, remembering your fallen mate, of course. This area has a lot of memories for her, since it was where she started her very first family. And she knows that her family will continue, because Darkrai will soon be starting a family of beasts. And Glacier, this is your chance to show your stuff, right in front of Darkrai too. There we go, so she can pick up that meat to store away for her little babies, as we finally bring Toomey and Kate out of the tall grass, away from these poison berries to find their own place to settle down. And with that, I think we're ready to see if our very first baby between Amelia and Bambi is going to be lucky enough to carry the snout. Oh no, it's only the derp snout, and he doesn't even have the Beryena's snout in his genetics. Oh, that is absolutely terrible luck. Even worse than Bambi getting poked by the Bearyena, but it didn't seem to hurt him too badly. So maybe we need to impress our king of beasts a little bit more before we'll finally have our hybrids in our tribe. Let's go ahead and have you take care of the Bearyena for us, so Peppy can pick up all of that lovely meat, and then Sonia can pick up the meat that you left behind, as she watches the other little bunnies scoot around these ports. If you get just a little bit closer, we might be able to snag you up too. But I think the first order of business is going to be making sure that Amelia can set up another nest. Maybe a second time is the charm for this family. We do definitely need to give this baby a name though. Oh, I love his ram horns. I'm not sure if I've ever seen that color before. The dark red? That looks really nice against his fur. And he has the digging paw too, so he can actually take up his mother's job in the future. But the next name on my list is Iroh. So welcome to the tribe, little one, and may you dig up many, many roots in our future. Let's start bringing Rocket over to the main part of the tribe too. The heart of the tribe with all of those healing fruits. Which means that he is going to be leaving quite a few acorns behind him. But he knows that his mother should be able to pick them up instead. And I think this might actually be the remains of your mate, Zara. Oh, that is always so sad when we have to pick up the pieces left behind by our friendly Beryenas. And now you can spend some time explaining to Jip all of the things that you've learned about this part of the land. Let him know where the healing fruit is, so hopefully he can keep track of it in the future. Now webs. let's have you make your way up the territory too. Swipe up some little bunnies for us to leave as a gift for this family. And pretty soon you should be able to make your way over to Piper. Yeah, I think you'll be able to get to her before she passes. She only has 4 days remaining on her lifespan, but with this pathway, and with how quick he actually is, frog toes and all, they should be able to have at least one warrior baby. In fact, let's have her finish off this pathway. It would be great if we could actually find like a little permanent nest out here somewhere. And Biba, you might as well take up the role as scout on top of the stump. I feel like she would actually do a pretty good job as a scout. She might be a little bit skittish, but she could definitely let us know if there's any danger coming our way. And there we go, I think that's our pathway taken care of. So come on down here, Piper. You haven't seen the main portion of the island in a very long time, so it'll be nice to go back to your roots. So I think we should probably have Toomey take some of the healing fruit next, because she could definitely use some good healing at this point. We'll have Kate try to guide her in that direction, but thanks to her double running legs, she should be able to scoot right over there in no time. We'll have Glacier circle around to get closer to Darkrai as well, since she should be growing her final gem on the next turn, so we can finally get started on our little sentinel line too. And we'll have Peppy start making her way back into the grass, because I feel like she would be a little bit upset that so many creatures have found these healing fruits, but so far she hasn't been able to sniff one out herself. That was like her one main goal in life, just to find something to heal her mother. Despite the fact that Comey has already passed, it would still be a great way to honor her memory. But let's see, is second time going to be the charm? Oh no, the derp snout again. Oh, Bambi, we are having so much trouble keeping that in their line. That is very, very strange. Unfortunately, we don't have access to the bearyena snout until we actually breed it into our tribe, so we just have to keep trying. It's a good thing you two are so young, because you'll be able to have plenty of babies together. As long as we keep a good eye on our food supplies, of course. But let's go ahead and name this little baby too, with her double bearyena claws. Alright, so another little beast. A 9 in strength? Oh my gosh. It's because of the ram horns, right? So she's even more powerful than her own father, Bambi. The next name on my list is Rarely, which is a super cute name. So welcome to the tribe, little one. Clearly you're going to make an impact here. Clearly you're going to be able to keep our bearyena hybrid safe, even if we haven't been able to breed those true genetics into our tribe just yet. Hopefully in the next episode, all of that will change, and we'll be ready to send our hybrids out to war with the killer beryenas soon. But for now, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye guys!